Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The act of giving a formal, usually written, authorization. Approval to do something. He asked permission to leave. Excessive freedom. Lack of due restraint. When liberty becomes licensed, dictatorship is near. Freedom to deviate deliberately from normally applicable rules or practices, especially in behavior or speech. The act of giving a formal, usually written, authorization. A legal document giving official permission to do something. Authorize officially. I am licensed to practice law in this state. Make it possible through a specific action or lack of action for something to happen. This permits the water to rush in. Allow the presence of or allow an activity, without opposing or prohibiting. Children are not permitted beyond this point. Consent to, give permission. She permitted her son to visit her estranged husband. The act of giving a formal, usually written, authorization. Large game fish, found in waters of the West Indies. A legal document giving official permission to do something. Official permission or approval. The act of conferring legality or sanction or formal warrant. A document giving an official instruction or command. The power or right to give orders or make decisions. Official permission or approval. The act of conferring legality or sanction or formal warrant. A document giving an official instruction or command. The power or right to give orders or make decisions. Deputies are given authorization to make arrests. The act of conferring legality or sanction or formal warrant. The formal act of approving. His decision merited the approval of any sensible person. Acceptance as satisfactory. He bought it on approval. A message expressing a favorable opinion. Words of approval seldom passed his lips. A feeling of liking something or someone good. Although she fussed at them, she secretly viewed all her children with approval. A message expressing a favorable opinion. An official award, as for bravery or service, usually given as formal public statement. Architecture, a concave molding. An abrupt and unceremonious dismissal. Perform a ceremonious bow. A Chinese rice gruel eaten for breakfast. Formal permission to depart. Depart after obtaining formal permission. He has congeed with the king. Vertical space available to allow easy passage under something. Permission to proceed. The plane was given clearance to land. The distance by which one thing clears another. The space between them. An amount added or deducted on the basis of qualifying circumstances. An allowance for profit. A reserve fund created by a charge against profits in order to provide for changes in the value of a company's assets. A permissible difference, allowing some freedom to move within limits. An amount allowed or granted, as during a given period. Travel allowance. A sum granted as reimbursement for expenses. Put on a fixed allowance, as of food. The act of allowing. He objected to the allowance of smoking in the dining room. Architecture, a concave molding. An abrupt and unceremonious dismissal. Perform a ceremonious bow. Formal permission to depart. He gave me his congee. A disposition to tolerate or accept people or situations. All people should practice toleration and live together in peace. Official recognition of the right of individuals to hold dissenting opinions, especially in religion. An exemption from some rule or obligation. A share that has been dispensed or distributed. The act of dispensing, giving out in portions. A signal, usually a siren, that danger is over. Permission to proceed because obstacles have been removed. Give an affirmative reply to. Respond favorably to. Permission to do something. He indicated his consent. Official notice that you have been fired from your job. A judgment disposing of the matter without a trial. The termination of someone's employment, leaving them free to depart. Permission to go. The sending away of someone. A signal to proceed. Permission to proceed with a project or to take action. The gave the green light for construction to begin. A document indicating permission to do something without restrictions. Leave unchanged or undisturbed or refrain from taking. Leave it as is. Remove oneself from an association with or participation in. She wants to leave. Leave behind unintentionally. Produce as a result or residue. Transmit, knowledge or skills. Leave your name and address here. Put into the care or protection of someone. Leave your child in the nurse's care. Move out of or depart from. Leave the room. The period of time during which you were absent from work or duty. A 10 days leave to visit his mother. Be survived by after one's death. The act of departing politely. He took his leave. Go away from a place. At what time does your train leave? Leave or give by will after one's death. Make a possibility or provide opportunity for, permit to be attainable or cause to remain. This leaves no room for improvement. Act or be so as to become in a specified state. Go and leave behind, either intentionally or by neglect or forgetfulness. Have left or have as a remainder. 19-8 leaves 11. Permission to do something. She was granted leave to speak. Move past. A black limousine passed by when she looked out the window. Eliminate from the body. Grant authorization or clearance for. A usually brief attempt. Success in satisfying a test or requirement. His future depended on his passing that test. Come to pass. Of advancing the ball by throwing it. A team with a good passing attack. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. A document indicating permission to do something without restrictions. The media representatives had special passes. Cause to pass. She passed around the plates. Be superior or better than some standard. Transmit information. Pass along the good news. Go unchallenged. Be approved. Pass over, across, or through. Place into the hands or custody of. Sports. The act of throwing the ball to another member of your team. The pass was fumbled. Pass into a specified state or condition. Make laws, bills, etc. or bring into effect by legislation. They passed the amendment. A difficult juncture. A pretty pass. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. A permit to enter or leave a military installation. He had to show his pass in order to get out. Pass by. A bad or difficult situation or state of affairs. Travel past. The sports car passed all the trucks. Disappear gradually. The pain eventually passed off. American football. A play that involves one player throwing the ball to a teammate. The coach sent in a passing play on 3rd and long. Baseball. An advance to first base by a batter who receives 4 balls. The location in a range of mountains of a geological formation that is lower than the surrounding peaks. We got through the pass before it started to snow. An automatic advance to the next round in a tournament without playing an opponent. Go successfully through a test or a selection process. She passed the New Jersey bar exam and can practice law now. Be inherited by. Use up a period of time in a specific way. Any authorization to pass or go somewhere. The pass to visit had a strict time limit. Accept or judge as acceptable. The teacher passed the student although he was weak. A complimentary ticket. The star got passes for his family. A flight or run by an aircraft over a target. The plane turned to make a second pass. Allow to go without comment or censure. The insult passed as if unnoticed. Go across or through. We passed the point where the police car had parked. Military, a written leave of absence. He had a pass for 3 days. One complete cycle of operations, as by a computer. It was not possible to complete the computation in a single pass. Throw, a ball, to another player. Smith passed. Transfer to another, of rights or property. Our house passed under his official control. Any quality or characteristic that gains a person a favorable reception or acceptance or admission. His wealth was not a passport into the exclusive circles of society. Any authorization to pass or go somewhere. A document issued by a country to a citizen allowing that person to travel abroad and re-enter the home country. Official permission or approval. Give sanction to. Formal and explicit approval. A mechanism of social control for enforcing a society's standards. Give authority or permission to. Give religious sanction to, such as through on oath. The act of final authorization. It had the sanction of the Church. Official permission or approval. Authority for the program was renewed several times. An administrative unit of government. Freedom from doubt. Belief in yourself and your abilities. She spoke with authority. The power or right to give orders or make decisions. He has the authority to issue warrants. An authoritative written work. This book is the final authority on the life of Milton. An expert whose views are taken as definitive. He is an authority on corporate law. Usually plural, persons who exercise administrative control over others.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.